Okay. Should be getting going. Gonna have to adjust this audio a little. Okay. I mean, everything looks like it's in place. We've got the wheel up. We've got our image, should we need it. Avatars appear to be working. Oh, hi Weevo. I think you've been here before. It's actually impressive you got here so fast when I literally just pressed start on the stream. I don't know how it's gonna go. I just started with all this stuff. Kind of changed the stuff around. Hopefully a PC won't die this time. I think it's because if I don't reboot it in a while, if I don't reboot the PC and I just leave it in sleep mode, for some reason it has all kinds of problems for like no apparent reason. So we've got high performance sport, basically a coupe, but a much higher performance version. Can start off with this for now. Change it as and how we need. That's an advert. We can go see what size we want. Large, okay. Oh yeah. I do have some comments on the videos, not a lot. Unless you mean for a channel you have or something. I don't know. There is there's that. I mean that honestly, if this is like counted as a high performance car, I could do it, but I think a limousine is just a little ridiculous. So we have got large and we have got what engine positioning? A front engine. This is interesting, okay? So let's hope it's not gonna have leaf springs. I'm not gonna do the year because I honestly sometimes if I do the year it'll restrict certain technologies. Another channel, that makes sense then. Because I don't have loads of comments on this channel. But I was just saying anyway, with this something oh, my mind has gone blank again. I won't be using that one, that's for sure, but we do need a large body and we need it to be front engined. That was it. Let's hope it doesn't go with leaf springs. I believe that's what I should get to, and I'm also pressing the wrong key and actually messing up how the wheel is positioned. Just check this shows again. No, not that. Yeah, okay. It's in the capture just fine. So we've got this body for now. It needs to be high performance sport though. That looks more like a saloon. So we're probably looking at coupe and front engines. This is what I was getting at, but my head is just being so slow today. Engine positioning, front. Front engine can be good, but it has to be like set up properly to have it work. And I can't necessarily trust the wheel to set a car up properly. So it's going to be large though. We've got a few bodies that could probably do the job. I think I'll go with something a little more legacy. I mean, I could check the year for the body, but the issue is, as before, I had an issue with finding any kind of body that the engine would just work in, so you never know what you're going to actually be forced into using. I'd say we want really 3+ for size, and it has to be high performance, so high performance. And did I select engine positioning correctly? Yes. So it has to support front engined, and it has to be large enough. Some of these, they look bigger, like that kind of looks like a front engine Ferrari. Hey, so it's pronounced coupe, not coupe. I don't really know, but I think either is like valid enough, to be honest. Because words can have so many different variants. But I could say coupe, yeah. I mean, I think that looks a little higher performance, to be honest, but I don't know. We're going to need something that looks... I don't want something too massive. I want it to definitely fall into the category of large. I would say this looks like a Corvette or something. It's just under 3 meters, so I'd still kind of call it large in the grand scheme of things. Definitely the smaller side of a large body. But I would say it just is its way out of a mid-size. So we are going to need our... We're going to need to make a number wheel. 7. Okay. We have got 7. 5, that's partial aluminium, I believe. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Partial aluminium. I'll take this. Although, granted, I did get, I think it was partial carbon fibre before, and then it put leaf springs on the front. So, who knows how things are going to go wrong on this build. If I'm lucky, it'll be pretty minor things that go wrong. Are we getting 4? I think it loves semi-space frame, so... 1, 2, 3... But it's a full space frame. I mean, I had that in like a pickup truck thing I did offline. This is actually starting to make sense, though. It is front-wheel drive, which is definitely odd, but still. Yeah, the aluminium kind of thing. Ah, yeah, Z and Z. That's another thing. I feel like you can make infinite arguments about it, but ultimately, I just don't think it really matters how it's said, as long as the intent is the same. I think that's the important thing, personally. If it gets to the point no one understands what you're saying, then perhaps it's a cause of concern. Light AHS steel. This is giving me a good configuration, and that is exactly why I am scared. So it only gives me front transverse and front longitudinal. That's interesting, so it only gives me the front engine layouts, which is... I'm not going to complain, because with this particular body, we are already given that. That is a given, we're not going to go mid-mounted. So it's not something I can ever see a reason to complain. But we are going to go with seeing what option we get. Yeah, I mean, I think personally it sounds... On the context it is. It's a weird way to see it perhaps, but I think different terms can flow better on how it's said, on what part of what word and stuff. It's like 350Z, I think, just sounds off. 350Z just sounds more natural, if you're talking about the Nissan. But then I'd call it, the old one I'd call 300ZX, because, I don't know, like, they're technically different, but... I know, this is, honestly, it's a large front-wheel drive, but this isn't cursed. Like, it was terrible before. It's actually making a lot of sense. It's not letting me put leaf springs on the front. I think because it's front transverse, it saved me there. Struts on the front makes a lot of sense in terms of engine sizing. This makes too much sense. I'm just waiting for the wheel to do something cruel. I mean, it could give me leaf springs on this next one. Although that wouldn't destroy the car, it has given me rear leaf springs before on certain builds. The other one was just so cursed. I'll take that. It's not the best kind of independent suspension, to be honest. Automation even considers it semi-independent, but it's at least a decent sprung setup. It is not live axle, so I'll take this as a win. This, honestly, I'm just waiting. Yeah, the design will probably be normal, yeah. Unless, as I say, automation completely messes it up. But this is the place where it could really mess something up. It's a bit unconventional to have a front-wheel drive space frame, but there's nothing wrong with the setup. Now, I think these are all pretty high-performance coupe bodies, technically. Some are convertible, some aren't, but I can actually let the wheel decide this. So there is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6... Yeah, there's 7 different bodies, and I believe they all are fit for the kind of brief, so I'll let it choose which one of these bodies it wants. 7, okay. It's probably the most interesting looking of the lot. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And that is what we got. Just hide the wheel for now. So far, you maybe even could get rear seats on this. It's definitely more of a shooting brake, but it kind of makes sense. And I think, having not gone with a convertible, it is probably going to be lighter. So this makes a bizarre amount of sense for just a completely random build. I haven't got the random colour selector up, so I'm going to have to try and find one of them. Random colour hex selector, because I believe I need the hex code. Okay, so I think this should do if it shows. So this is just one I've got up. Allow selected, I don't know on that. So this will show hopefully a colour. I don't know if there's any modern cars like this. I think my Citroen has a semi-space frame, but not a full space frame. I believe the closest that I can think of off the top of my head is the Audi A2 from the early 2000s. I think that was supposed to have a space frame and it was front-wheel drive. It's not like a sports car body, but it's the closest I can immediately think of. I think it was also aluminium, so is this like in part... Yeah, this is probably a part steel. This is probably the closest to an Audi A2, which it doesn't seem like the case, but it definitely reminds me of that in terms of overall layout. Granted, it could throw a spanner in the works with the engine and stuff and put a V12 in or whatever. A pushrod V12, who knows? At least it doesn't look cursed. And we do need to generate a colour. So, generate a colour, generate a colour. I'll use these second too. It's gone red and green again. It's feeling very festive. So, copy to clipboard. It's feeling very festive again. It's built a festive car. So we'll go advanced paint mode. I think I can go select it here. Yes. There we go. I think that's the red. It's very close, so I'm going to have to rename it so it doesn't get confused with a standard red. I think if I go basic paint mode, there we go. Because then it gives me a red. It's so easy to confuse it, even if it is slightly different. And then we'll go... Yep, this is a shooting brake indeed. I just saw that body split there. I thought, is this a convertible? I don't think it is. I think it's just because it's an odd body and it's been modified in an odd way from the original design of the C7. I think it's a C7. Corvette. I mean, it says 2007, but I believe it is a little newer than that in the actual C7. Granted, they have to give a bit more, what do you call it? The other car, it went with, it was basically Santa's pickup truck it built. I'll have to just go back for a moment. I think I've already shown it on stream before, but yeah, it's just, it literally built a pickup truck for Santa, and that was not something I was going for, but Santa's weekend car, I'm thinking now this probably is. So if we go back, this was actually really good. I didn't build it on stream or anything, but as I say, it literally, by complete accident, it built Santa's present delivery pickup truck. I think I actually got the colour on this on the Christmas day as well, just before the stream, so I'm sorry, I've got the wheel up, but there it is. This is our merry red pickup truck. Makes like 580 horsepower. The specs are just down there anyway. 9 litre transverse V12, all the good crazy stuff. That was a all-wheel drive. I don't know what this is going to be. I have just realised, actually, taken me this long to realise, but you can in fact have all-wheel drive based on a transverse engine. So we could still have a chance of getting this to be incredibly high performance. So we're going to go 1, 2, because this will be the all-driven wheels versus the front-driven wheels only. And we have got 2. So yeah, as I say, we've got one of the all-wheel drive variants, which will be something we'll see. So how many are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it's decided not to have front-wheel drive, and I have to honour what the wheel says. How is this being so good? In terms of overall like shape and size, I am getting Mitsubishi 3000 GT vibes. I don't know with the engine, but I know that had a transverse engine in the front, and it was kind of a coupe, and it also had all-wheel drive. So that's the vibe I'm getting right now. That I don't believe was a space frame, but I still kind of see the resemblance. Yeah, whoever designs the Aston Martin shooting brake. Honestly, I don't think this is the best at building engines, so it might disappoint someone building an actual sports car. But I think for a wheel car, we are actually onto something for just a completely random car. And we've got a boxer engine. I won't be going under 2 litres. I made that mistake last time I had a boxer engine. It just did not work. So 1, 2, 3, 4. I shouldn't need to reiterate that. So we're going to get at least 4 cylinders. I am scared of only getting 4, but at least it's got good balance if we do get a 4-cylinder. So that is definitely a good thing. Yes, thank you. You've actually given me a half-decent engine. I was concerned because 4 cylinders don't tend to deal with a lot of power. 6 is a lot better at dealing with power and displacement and stuff. You've got 50% extra cylinders, so it would be. And I mean, it kind of makes sense. It's a bit of an odd engine to have transverse, but I can't exactly say there's not enough space under the bonnet of this car. If anything, it's one of the preferable things along with a V6. Yeah, this is... Honestly, I feel like this is not going to make engineers vomit like the one I created yesterday. I feel like engineers would see that and they would feel really uneasy. This one, it doesn't feel that way. It feels like they might actually accept it if there are a few odd decisions. Like it's actually made a car that makes some kind of sense. Okay, aluminium heavy. I was going to say, I was thinking I was on the internals, like further into the design. I'm not. I'm just on the block material. And aluminium heavy, that's decent enough. It's not cast iron. So then we'll go wheel number these stuff out of 4. Which ones should we get? Are we going to get 4? Oh, yes. Now, even if this is 2 valves, we've got a good setup. It does seem to like choosing 2-valve carburetted engines, but things could be a lot worse. And I should not be saying this because I know how the wheel reacts when I say things could be worse. Like that. But as I say, even being a 2-valve, after it had selected dual overhead cam, it had already built something half decent. Like it was already in the same kind of boat that the boat of a good car. Just checking I've done these numbers correctly. It felt a bit off when I was typing them in. 4, so 1, 2, 3, 4. It's eco, but it's aluminium. So this thing is actually going to be fairly light for what it is. Just the block material and everything, it seems to be working out. It's not complaining about dimensions at all. So maybe I could go with something absolutely gargantuan. And indeed I could. I'm not going with a 27-litre engine. I think I'll call it at 10 or something. I don't see why you would need more than a 10-litre engine, but it will fit a 10-litre engine in. So if we have to go with a 10-litre engine, we can probably somehow get it working. Not sure how, and I'm going to go with a minimum of 2, because if I didn't, the thing just wouldn't, wouldn't move enough. As I say, it gave me a 1-litre engine before. So we're going with up to a 5-litre. Why is this making perfect sense? I'm actually beginning to get concerned. Like, it's a little larger for a 6-cylinder, but it still kind of makes sense. It's not absurd. Nothing about this car doesn't make sense. Like, nothing about it screams, I'm a hazard to myself and those around me. And that only makes me scared for what it's going to do with, like, the brakes or something. Just not give it any brakes. Well, it has to give it brakes, but it'll probably go with drums on the front and rear or something to punish me. So, yeah, honestly, I don't think this one's going to be cursed. It chose even a high-performance body, so it's not like it's going to be... I did build one quickly, like yesterday. It was a bit of fun, but it didn't save it. It was like a small sports car, and it put it in a SUV body. A crossover, technically. Not sure why, but that was actually quite a nice, cohesive car, until it selected a 2-speed transmission. Because, of course, it's going to select a 2-speed transmission. We've got 7 options here. So I'm going to have to slightly redo this, because I did miss a 1 out for the engine size. There we go. Number 2, cast iron. Well, it's not cast iron heavy, to think of the upside, so it shouldn't make a car that just doesn't rev out at all. We should get some revs out of it. We've got 7 more options. This is where things are seeming to start going wrong, but I still don't think it'll be cursed, honestly. Because as much as the parts list here being bad can hurt it, it's still a fairly sensible size. Yeah, it wasn't quite like a Eurus though. I think it was mid-engined and rear-wheel drive as well. But like that came out very obscure. As I say, kind of with the game backups and stuff between this PC and the laptop, it got lost in time. But it was a very odd thing. It was like a little Lotus, but in an SUV body. It weighed actually just over 900 kilos as well. I did like that thing, but it's unfortunately lost. We'll have to just hope the wheel builds me another thing like it. Which it won't be this because this is a much larger car, but still. We're getting forged again. Heavy, but still forged, so better than cast. As I say, the one thing it's being cruel with is the crankshaft, and things could be a lot worse than the crankshaft. Again, counterweight, it could be a lot crueler, honestly. As much as I'd like a harmonic damper, it's not something that's desperately necessary. Go with 3 for the options. It kind of lags on the stream, which is odd. It seems to. We're getting valve timing on the intake. I think this is going to make a good amount of power, honestly. Okay, it's gone with 2 number 2s. Not the most sophisticated, but it's definitely better than having nothing. Now here we've got 4 options for various ones. We've got different types of turbo, which is why I don't like just numbering it like that. If it selects a turbo, then so be it. Yeah, I mean, some sports cars are front-wheel drive. we don't question how the mighty Citroen is so fast, because my car is obviously with 160 horsepower. That's obviously going to beat Lamborghinis and Ferraris. But that is front-wheel drive and it handles extremely well, so that's what I mean. If my car does it, we've got fuel injection. Now, the wheel loves carburetors, yet we've got fuel injection. This is off to a good start. Well, it already was. But I don't hate it being naturally aspirated, because being naturally aspirated is probably going to work. Like, we probably have the power just naturally from this engine without it needing a turbo or a supercharger or any of that. We do have 4 options, but whichever it's going to be at this point... No, I'm messing up. I went 4-3, not 3-4. Multi-point electronic fuel injection. I mean, this makes perfect sense, though. And that's what I have an issue with, almost. Like, it's too good. It feels like it's not going to be any kind of challenge at all to tune this, because everything is just so amazingly good. Other than a few smaller bits that don't really matter. Like, I've configured cars before without even the wheel telling me to, with multi-point EFI and single injection, and it just generally works. I did it more for, like, budget reasons than just because I was being told to, but it can work well now. I should probably be scared. That's all I'll say. Because now we're on fuel type, I should probably be scared. So, number 2. How are you making sense, Wheel? How are you doing something that's just this uncursed? It shouldn't be. I reckon this will probably even make like 200 horsepower just untouched. And that's, I don't know what to make of that. So we have got 5 options. We're going to need to delete that extra one. Oh yeah, this is 4-wheel drive. Yeah, I mean, honestly, I assume this was front-wheel drive, to be fair. So I'm making mistakes as well. But this is all-wheel drive. I forgot that. That makes perfect sense. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Wait, so we're getting ultimate unleaded gasoline. That's not bad at all. It's actually a very normal, very conventional standard. You wouldn't normally win a road car on that, but it's good fuel. So I can't really complain about it. What's going on with this? Wheel, why are you being so kind? On Christmas Day, you literally gave me the worst thing you could possibly build, and then we're getting something that's actually a very well-rounded sports car. Perhaps high-performance sports car, even. we've got a race intake. This is what you should have done for me on Christmas Day, honestly. It's not 4-valve, but everything else, pretty much everything else I can get behind. I can understand it. Are we going to get another, like, race exhaust? Imagine that. Not quite, but we've got tubular long. We've got a very good header. This is... Like, what's going on with you, Wheel? Wheel? I don't know. I don't know what to say at this point. It's just being far too nice to me. I can't help but feel it's just waiting for a moment to do something cruel. Like, when it's being this nice, I feel like it's desperately wanting to be cruel. Wait, it's even given us dual exhaust. Why is this so logical? The thing I hate the most, it actually makes more sense than some of the things I've built that I was trying to do a good car with. We've got 4 now. Is it going to give me... is it going to decide to destroy the environment and have no catalytic converter? And I twitched the wheel. That's probably not good for it, but anyway. What happens, happens. Freeway. So it's not high flow, but that is good. We are not going to destroy the environment completely with this. It's a whole different kind of concern, because it's like, this is just good. What will the other cars that the wheel has created think of it? Because, yeah, I mean, honestly, I don't think the other one can beat the Stratos, because I don't know if they got serious flaws or something, but the Lancia Stratos, I'm pretty sure it didn't have leaf springs on the front, or a ladder frame. So the Stratos does at least have some things going for it. And look at that, like, this engine is kind of messed up in terms of tune and stuff, but we're making almost 300 horsepower. I mean, the other car had its things going for it. I did lower it a bit and stuff, and it now looks better. I've got the image of it. So yeah, I did that. I lowered it in, like, the trim adjuster thing, because there was an option hidden away there. It does look a little better now, and I did a bit of tuning on it. It's not so awful as it used to be. But anyway, I will actually show the power curve a little better, because now I click off the window and then everything starts lagging on automation. We've got 282, and I mean 282 without this engine even being set up. This is going to be an outright monster. It's not going to be the same as that crazy 800 horsepower BMW, but, you know, it'll be fine. Even if it gives me cross-plate tyres at this point, I feel I can make it work. And that's what's concerning me. Maybe it'll give me the absolute worst tyres imaginable. Just maybe. We'll have to bring up this wheel again before I forget. 3. Okay, is that advanced auto? That's not a bad option. It's not the most advanced transmission ever known to man, but still. I'll just do this again with the same numbers, because re-entering them would be a bit of a pain. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. Okay, thank you. I've just realised Advanced Auto is not actually that bad. Some of them only have 2 gears available. Advanced Auto has 4 as a minimum. Okay, I think it tried to mess me up on transmission, but 5 gears is honestly not that bad. It's usable, even if it is an automatic. Well, it's an Advanced Auto, so that means it's not going to be a complete slush box. This makes sense, though. Like, everything here seems to make some kind of sense, and I'm concerned about that. Like, what are you trying to do? It's even giving me a clutch differential. It's being too kind. Is this some late Christmas present or something? How much power can I send to the back? I wonder. So it can go up to 70% at the back, even though it's transverse. Sounds like that could work. Now, Wheel. I'm just not going to say anything. It's been kind so far. Oh dear. Oh dear. I shouldn't have said it will be fine even on cross plies. I think I can make them work, but cross plies are not good. It's like, I'm going to be kind to you just so I can give you cross plies and make you upset. And like the base level cross plies as well. Not even the race ones. We have got 5, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Medium? I think that's actually the same as the BMW type thing with 800 horsepower had. You know what, this is as far as cross-ply tyres go, I'll say one thing, it could be a lot worse than it is. I think if I make these a little smaller, my car's 16s, yes, I don't think we'll keep it on 16s, but yeah, the cross-plies in 2020, they go pretty, a lot better than the older cross-plies. So if we go, I think with all-wheel drive we may get away with like 20s, just about, and that has decent width as well. So it could be a lot worse though than what it's done. Just hide the wheel for a moment. This is another thing. Do we have these steelies as it shows, or will we get to upgrade these to something nicer? So we have 6 options here. I will just bring the wheel up again. It's still, even with the cross plies, I think it's going to be okay. We've got all-wheel drive at the very least to kind of compensate for lack of grip. And we get alloys. You know what, this is probably still one, even with the cross plies, it's probably one of the better things that have just been randomly generated by the wheel. The wheel of misfortune, I don't know. Alright, you have one job, wheel. That is all I'm going to say. You have one job. Okay. It was so almost really cruel in giving me a 1. I say so almost, was a bit of extra space. But it could have given me a 1. It did not. It gave me a 2. So we at least have the better kind of drum brakes. And enough size probably to make them large. Then we have 4 options next up. What will we do? Wheel, you've done a wheel thing again. It usually, well, before, I think on the very first car I built on the streams, it's done a drum SLS on the front and then carbon ceramic on the back. This isn't quite as bad. At least the one thing I can say about carbon ceramics on the rear, they shouldn't have brake fade that badly. So if I need to run them smaller, I can. That's the one positive I can bring out of this. Just don't let engineers see the brakes and I think we'll be fine. Okay, it's done 2. It could have been really cruel and given me like 6 piston brakes on the back. They would be far too powerful. There we are. So, I've got 7 options here. And I need to bring the wheel up to demonstrate. Oh, sport under tray, I think. Yes. So it's not quite full on race level, but I think this thing is going to rise above the cross plies and the brakes issues that it's got. Yeah. This is definitely going to be a British police car. It's got cross plies. Like, that's the only thing that it's probably significantly worse, to be honest. My Citroen could also be a British police car, but I totally don't break the speed limit in that thing. Definitely not. We just don't talk about how that thing is extremely stable at speed. And has better suspension than a base model 5 series of the same era. Even though it's not. Race. Interesting. I'm not certain about this, but I think that goes straight from being the heaviest to one of the lightest, most probably. I can check a bit later, but I think race is probably a lighter, more specific race interior. I mean, the other one, I think this, I don't know what era it would be exactly, but I don't imagine it predating cassettes for infotainment, so I'll keep it cassette and upwards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. Because if it's, yeah, French engineering. It is one of the better French cars, though, I'd say. The newer C5, it went from, like, double wishbones on the front and, multi-link on the back. For some reason, they went from that mine has to struts on the front and, like, trailing arm on the back, which is the same as this, actually, now I think of it. That's kind of comical. So, yeah. This has the same suspension setup as a C5 Aircross. Everything's come full circle. I think, well, it did say, like, non-independent, I think, on the back, so I'm just assuming it's similar to this. We have got, what was it, 5, yeah, so I think that's the newest. We have got 4 options, as I'm getting distracted. I thought of actually doing some drawing of that Citroen, though, like the initial D car, like, Diesel Drifter or something, because I think it could be funny. Like go to techniquing an 11-year-old estate or wagon or whatever you call it. Station wagon, I think, is the technical American term for them. And then Citroen calls it a Tourer. Most people in the UK call it a estate. A million names for the exact same thing. We have got electric variable. Wheel, I don't know what to say. Have you built the worst car in the world? Has a Wheel, like, literally built one of the best cars in the world after building one of the worst cars in the world? I mean, I guess there's a cross-ply tyres, but even that, I think we have the technology to work around it. So we have 5 options here. All I can do is hope it gives me something with ABS, which it has cancelled out ABS before, but it looks like we have the opportunity. Summit doesn't give me this many options, I don't think, which is interesting. And the wheel. 3. So we have got a traction control and ABS, solid enough. Not the most advanced, but it should be enough for what this car is. Safety. I mean, as I say, this is probably not any older than the 80s. Just going off the body type, I'd say 90s onwards, so I'll give it the kind of practical options for this body. Yeah, the DS is probably honestly better riding. The one thing I can say over the DS, though, is my car has electronic suspension stuff, and the mechanical stuff is not known to be as reliable as the newer electronic stuff. Okay, I'll take this. So it's a modern car. What kind of interior has it got? Yeah, it's definitely kind of accidentally, but it's gone for a modern high-spec sports car, I would say. And again, this makes too much sense. Now, is it going to create a Citroen suspension system? Like I would so want it to. We have a chance to go with 5 options. I mean, the DS, there's also the Citroen SM, I think they called it. Those things look amazing. Can't imagine them possibly being reliable, but the things look incredible. Not to be confused with the XM, because they have a million different cars that are named similarly. So I kind of sleepwalked through that, but we've got active comfort, we have got adaptive dampers and passive sway bars, because I think that's the active suspension, it just chooses that. Like, what's going on with you, Wheel? I think you might be a bit ill. You're not supposed to build cars this good. I think like, maybe the Wheel just had too much to drink and it forgot how to be mean in its drunkenness. I don't know, like, this car that I've been through the whole process, it's not been cruel at all. The only thing that's less than ideal is the cross-ply tyres, in a serious way. So I think we can design it. I can see the vision, definitely. I think we can do a bit of design work. Probably going to make like 350 horsepower, at a guess. And then we have, yeah, all this stuff here. How heavy is it as well? I need to get a look at that. I don't think it'll be too bad. 1719. Okay, for an all-wheel drive car with a fairly beefy engine, that's not bad. Quite front heavy, but not to a point of absolute disgrace. So it's a little on the heavy side and a little front heavy. My car isn't actually that unreliable. The V6, however, I didn't buy the V6. I got a manual 2-litre diesel, but the V6, there's a million different horror stories about the people who bought them with the V6 engines. And they also use that in a Range Rover, which, having a Range Rover engine probably says all you need to know. The fact that it shares the engine with that of all cars it possibly could. But yeah, mine is pretty good with the 4-cylinder. Just, not everyone will have had that experience. I could go with green like here. I feel like I go with a two-layer colour scheme. Or I could even go with a black roof, to be honest. Actually, I think if I do this and go with a black roof, it could look really nice. Could even go with a glass roof, to an extent. So I think we want them not flake, we just want something kind of shiny. Because I am still honouring what the wheel told me to put for colour. I'm just not using it absolutely everywhere. Like, this is not cursed. And I don't know what to say about it. It's actually just built a good sports car. I don't think I've had this before. The pillar trim. There we go. I think we've got alloys. And I think personally we might as well align it in some way by making them black. I might make them slightly less glossy black, but I can try and tie this together. For now, at least. Yeah, the track width is just off. I'm going to have to fix that. I think there's got to be some wheels that look good at this size. Maybe these ones? The cross-ply tyres don't quite look right because they're cross-ply tyres. But I think I can work around it. Maybe if I go with some like mesh type wheels of some kind. But they look a little better. They look a different era. So, there's those. I mean, I don't know, like, did these work? I feel like I'm almost getting somewhere. I just don't know exactly what to use. I feel like... Yeah, I feel like these are probably the best I'm going to get, to be honest. It will look less bad when I fix the track width and stuff. Maybe I could actually change the colour on the bumper. I don't know. I'll have to have a look. Can I just change the front bumper colour? Kind of. Although it doesn't change the whole thing. I think I'll try and adjust that with the various... Actually, if I widen that, I think it looks quite good. Can probably bring that back. It's just a very long front nose and it doesn't need to be. Although now I've built a snowplow. I can give it a big nose. Kind of as a snowplow. Can make it even more of a snowplow, or slightly less of a snowplow. There we go. Yeah, I mean, I've been in a Clio. That thing rode far better than it had any white to, honestly. It's a Clio 2. I don't know about the newer ones. Yeah, that Clio 2 rode like a limousine. It had no white too. As I say, I can't really speak for the newer ones. I mean, my car is very unique in general. Like, that's why I like it, but most French cars are not like that one. It's not like other cars, I tell you. It's not like the others. It's different and edgy. Give it a really pitiful rear window size. I feel like having that too large just doesn't do any good. It looks a little odd. I think I would say have a massive wing that blocks the rear window. Doesn't that kind of defeat the objective of it? I do kind of feel like this is rear-engined, although it isn't. Oh, I can lower that, make it super low to the ground. And I mean, hey, the prompt did say high-performance sport, so lowering it wouldn't be entirely inaccurate for what I've been told to build. Now I have to try and make this green, like, blend over the headlights and stuff. I can build a good car, honestly. It's not going to be completely ridiculous looking. I've just realised it's gone full circle in a way. I used Corvette headlights on the ridiculous thing, and now we've got a Corvette body. Probably without Corvette headlights. That's a coincidence I didn't expect to come across. I think these look like they might be BRZ or FRS or whatever they're called these days headlights. But I think they do look surprisingly good in this kind of context. They look small. I mean, I can probably make them larger. This is actually going to be a performance monster, though. Compared to the other things the Wheel has built, I imagine this thing is going to take a corner. Why does this look like, what's it? Is it Renault Spider they called it? That makes me think of that for some reason. From the 90s. Quite a limited production sports car. So if we go grill. I think if I go maybe one of these. Make that smaller. Could probably get that one. That's probably going to work a little better. I have to cover the red as well on the paintwork. Red on the paintwork to get it to fit. This is absolutely not cursed. I mean, it looks a bit odd having to go high up like this, but I think I can make it work. Might run with the might just run with the same black colour across the car as a consistent theme type ordeal. As much as I love chrome, on this car, it's not really a place you need chrome. Yeah, this is not bad at all. Like, there's no entertainment value in it, though. Like, it's not as entertaining building a car that's legitimately good. That's the issue. What top speed will it do? I didn't ask the wheel one thing, and that's what kind of aerodynamics it would like. Might as well ask that when I can, but I do want to see what it'll do. What's going on with the... I think that might be the gearing. No, I mean, I think that might be the engine kind of being unfinished, so I'll go back to that. But I will check what kind of aerodynamics it would like me to add. So I'm going to go with all, rear, or neither. I mean, I'll actually do I'll enter the things, so it's less confusing. So we're going to go all, rear, or neither. And let's see what it gives me. Is it going to give me all? You're building a race car at this point, honestly. So we have got all of the downforce. I can actually see TVR in it, honestly. I would say it's probably a little larger than a TVR of the day, but I can actually see that. Maybe I should work into that, because I could add some crazy vents and stuff. And it wouldn't destroy the car, that's for sure. So I could definitely add some slightly wild vents and stuff. While it has asked me to add the add all of the downforce, I will probably go a bit crazy with adding that downforce. Since, as I say, I have the option. I think first place to start would give it a crazy rear splitter, something like really, really crazy. Like, what's the craziest I've got? I think these go quite crazy. Something like that, yes. It's building a race car that has somehow got drum brakes on the front and cross plies, but everything else makes perfect sense. So yeah, I mean, just trying to get that kind of overall TVR madness in the design. There's also not a whole lot else you can do with the back of this other than just put a massive aero part on. So it works out. I mean, I could change the chassis even, but I don't know what else there is that would do a better job than this, honestly. Because this supports everything it needs. It's got loads of engine room, at least by the looks of it. Could make that the same black as well. It's not rear engine though, so we have to factor that in mind. I could try that. I mean, it's red, which... Well, red. I can't say it. Which is definitely more of a Ferrari colour. So I feel what would be good if I could find a car that is green. I guess it's like British racing green. It isn't British racing green, but it's a form of green. So if we could tie that in, kind of, and say... The top half is going to represent English, the base is going to represent Ferrari and Italian, all that. I feel like tail lights, I believe it's kind of a Ferrari hallmark to have the quad tail light, so I'm just going to use that in terms of the mine now ideology. Gotta find ones that work. It looks like that looks like it's smiling at you really in an intimidating manner. But I feel like if I could both incorporate the overall Italian Ferrari type quad tail lights and also make them in a way that's like insane, like a TVR, I think we would call that a win. We are going to need front and rear aero in some regards. I don't need a wing actually because I've added the whole thing on the back there, the rear splitter, which functions the same in automation, so I don't have to add a wing. I don't know what to make of it. You know what? It looks like a demonically possessed minion. The Despicable Me minion. It looks like a demonically possessed Despicable Me minion. So that's something. I feel like giving it a nose at this point. I don't think there's a boot that you can open, but that does kind of act as a nose, and I think it's kind of funny. Yeah, I mean... Yeah, that's what I was saying. It's not quite British Racing Green. British Racing Green is a very dark green, but this is still green. So that's how I'm going to try and tie it into the overall ideology. I know it's not a very close tie, but if that's how we can get this thing working and like referencing the British cars as well as the Italian ones, I think that's the best way I can do it. Could go with a bit of green on the nose. Nose. I mean, it's technically a door handle, but... No, I meant the little part, not the big part. There we go. Like, I don't know what this opens. It opens something. But it's just also, it makes it look funny, like it's got a nose. You know, it's just a chaos being that's happy to be here. Actually, a biblically accurate minion. That sums it up pretty accurately. I've just thought, though, actually, we've not got a badge, so why not just put the badge in this awkward place? Then we don't need the handle, and it can actually kind of make canonical sense to this being a car without any kind of boot or trunk, whatever you call it. So we'll make this a 0, but it's what I use for the wheel badge because it represents the wheel. Don't know if I added it to the other one, maybe I was too distracted. So I think we need the V. That's how I get the little needle that the wheel uses. It looks like that kind of shocked face emoji, kind of. But it references the wheel, I think, decently well as a little Easter egg. There we go. So that is our nose now. It actually looks more like a nose as well. Yeah, open to biblically accurate angels. Yeah, I'm just thinking, what about the lore? Like, this could, the biblically accurate angels, this is the thing that serves them. It carries their stuff around. I'm going to go with the green inside these tail lights. I think just another touch It probably won't look great, but the whole colour scheme, besides being festive, it's not got a whole lot going for it. It also kind of adds to the craziness. It's got like 2 indicators and 2 reverse lights and 2 brake lights. It doesn't make sense if I'm honest, but maybe I should actually, I could call this Biblically Accurate Minion. That would actually be a pretty good name, I feel. I mean, there's probably better names out there, I'll be honest, but Biblically Accurate Minion is one of those things. I could come up with something much worse. So we're going to need front aero, definitely. I mean, at least I'm still having fun with the design, making it a little bit crazy. It looks actually more sensible. The front kind of looks sensible, and then the back's like, ugh, you're a minion. I don't know if that's an accurate voice for it, but... the 1991 World Rally Championship. Well, the other, I don't know if that would work canonically, because this one looks more modern. The other one looked like it was some kind of demonic being that was just shaped like a car. So you can make all kinds of crazy lore with that being, like, passing through time and that, but I somehow don't imagine this working. So there's prototype front splitters here, whatever, they don't seem to be showing. Sometimes you need to go back because the designer just kind of breaks and you have to go back later, or quit the game, not quit the game, quit the car and then reopen the car. I'll just try going building the engine and then return into the design. It's the best I can do right now. So, what's the fueling and stuff going? Yeah, that stuff is just not matching up at all. Okay, so what have we got in terms of limits? I can probably change the proportions, actually. I think we have the space too. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to go very bore bias, just so that we can get as much RPM out of this as we possibly can. Yeah, I can only go so far. That should work. Yeah, 1991 Le Mans race. It does seem a little modern, but I can suspend my disbelief to Le Mans. It's just the cross-ply tyres. Like, that's the one thing. What was the engineer thinking when they decided, you know what, the rest of the companies designed such a brilliant car, let's give it cross-plies. I just don't know. Maybe they were part of the older generation and they were like, cross-plies are not as good. We're just going to use a proven technology. But that's the only thing I could come up with. Because even in the 80s, pretty much, cross-plies were just not used. Let alone on a race car. Okay, so I've changed the dimensions a bit too much, but I still have easily enough leeway to play with it. I just went absolutely crazy. So we've got 100 there, yes. We can still go quite crazy, just not as crazy with this. Because it really does take a lot to max this out, but since there's only 6 cylinders, I want to try and use the most bore as I can to get this thing to rev. 7200 isn't too bad, and we're making good torque as well. So in terms of overall specs, we could have done a lot worse. I don't like just ramping the bore up, but it does give me more RPM capability in the same displacement. So we have 38. It's apparently got 0 miles per gallon. I think I do need to cap off the RPM for now, just to get this thing to work. Fuel injection is doubtless going to help this. So I think we want these airflow numbers to be fairly close. So we could probably change things like the manifold, maybe make them smaller or larger, just to try and get them up. Because I think those numbers are far too small, that they're probably not all efficient on the engine. Why are those numbers so low, though? Like, they shouldn't be that low, surely. Maybe it's because it's a race one. Maybe it's just too efficient. I don't know. I choose orange juice over apple juice, but I don't know. They're both good. I just prefer orange. So we've got exhaust. The exhaust is not large, actually, but then I guess there's 2 of them. I was expecting more power. I feel like surely there's just something off with it. I guess the valves are really low for numbers. So if I can make the header smaller. Like, this is at least getting some level of consistency to these airflow numbers. So it kind of matches up. Should work better that way. It is naturally aspirated as well, so it's going to take a different tuning approach to how it is set up. So the valves do need adjusting. Oh, we've got VVL as well. I just forgot about that, because I got used to this one car I think I was building, and it just didn't have any VVL, so I kind of got used to working around that issue. I think what might be going on with the valves is the displacement. There's the, like, the bore and stroke. And I will admit, the bore and stroke is kind of messed up on it. But I'm doing what I can to get this thing to rev out. 248. So I ramp that right up. Typically, it's supposed to rev higher, I think, but I don't know. The fuel it's on is very good. Like, I'm not used to this kind of good fuel. But we should be making, unless I completely break this, this build, we should be able to make 300 horsepower. Because it's done that with a smaller 2-valve dual overhead cam 6-cylinder. So it should be able to do it with this one, surely. This is... Okay, it likes having pretty aggressive springs and lifters. I mean, there's also VVL RPM. Could try and change when that kicks in. So if we can get this working, we've got up until 7,200 RPM. I think that's enough. I could even web this lower if it works. I think the VVL is messing with me though, because of how it is. Maybe if I lower that. Lowering that has helped it. I wasn't necessarily expecting that, but also it could always be the case. Okay, that's like a good blend into there. I think VVL at that kind of RPM. I just don't really notice it. We're making 270. This is going to be a powerful engine if I actually learn how to set it up. I don't know what flag that is. Is that the African flag? I don't know, honestly. I'm not good at memorizing this stuff. So there's a lot of flags in this world. Anyway, we have got to get back on topic to the cam profile. It does have a really nice power curve, I'll say that much. The way it's just revving so smooth. It's not revving very highly at the moment, but it's revving so smoothly. And the torque as well. There we go, we're getting the boost. Well, I say boost, it's technically naturally aspirated, but the same kind of idea applies. And then I can address some of the other, maybe issues, would you call it, where things don't quite line up. Yeah, so springs and lifters are really pushing the RPM up, but pushing the RPM up is giving me power. Ah, African Czech Republic and Albania. I know it's Czech. I know that much, and then I'll probably find out I'm wrong about that as well. I guess confidently wrong. So... Okay, this is making good use of our RPMs. If we can make 400 horsepower, this thing is going to be more than quick enough. Don't know why it wants the cam profile much lower though than the springs and lifters. Does that sort the airflow out? I think it does actually. It's a very odd way of sorting the airflow out, but it's done it. So it looks like cam profile does something here, and it kind of, the VVL also helps it, I don't know. The VVL can make it higher performance as well. I think the whole thing just needs to be so much more aggressive. Yeah, it's like the airflow, I feel like I'm not really looking at what I'm doing, but it is kind of getting better, kind of ordeal. So if I make that too high, it serves no purpose whatsoever other than just ruining the torque curve. Engine stuff. So we can go VVL, maybe change that a little. There we go. I think one of these points here, if I can leave it about there, like that's okay, that's not terrible. I think cam profile can probably get lower. It's just if I lower that too much, it kind of messes up the power curve a little. Like that's 10 is a decent balance. I mean, I could try making the springs and lifters lesser, but that doesn't really do anything. It's a very strange way to build an engine, but it's working. Sometimes you have to do things in strange ways to actually get these things to make power. But as I say, this isn't even struggling for RPM. Now I've changed the bore and stroke to a much easier going kind of level. It's fine. The conrods, I'm actually surprised about that because the crank struck me as the weak point, as that's cast iron. It seems to be the conrods that are having issues and they're forged. I did not expect the problems to be working themselves out like that. So we have to... Yeah, I've not got the wheel up still. That would have been a dumb decision on my part. And 362.7. So lowering that is helping. I mean, 362, even if we can't get more power than this, it's still not at a bad point now, but I do think I can get a little higher. I reckon we can get at least 370 just by fine-tuning the other bits of the car. So we have got 364. I mean, it's not complaining yet about the compression being too low. So we can probably keep lowering it a little. 364 maybe there. I mean, it's not complaining about the compression. So there's getting a bit more power, maybe, I don't know. I think 364 seems like a good point to make power. We can even make more, apparently, by lowering the RPM to the right level. It's making a lot of torque as well. Just generally, power and torque on this are very solid. And we don't need a turbo, I don't reckon. It's what it almost seems like it's making. I think the standard... if I remember correctly, the standard C6 Corvette made about 400. Seems like we're closing in on that. I think the C7 went closer to 450. So it's not quite at that level. And there we go. So we have got the manifold that can make power. I'm not even paying much attention to the airflow. Just hope it works out, I guess. So we've got that race manifold and stuff. This will help because it's got pretty good parts list overall. It's not doing bad. We have got almost 375. I can try the transmission in a moment because this should be at the point where, you know, it's a stable working engine. I can also temporarily mute the music so I can hear how it sounds, which should be a fun part of everything. The exhaust, it's going to be loud. I've just realised we've got 2 straight-through mufflers which do not do a whole lot of muffling, and it's not even got a turbo or anything to do muffling, so... Yeah, I know, this is a good car. And, I mean... It's gone from one extreme to the other. I was horrified by what it created before, and now I'm just kind of thankful because it just makes sense. It's even got dual exhaust, as I say. Like, it could have done that and made me have a massive single exhaust for something with 2 cylinder banks, but 2 exhausts makes perfectly good sense. It's transverse, which is unusual, but the body can take transverse and still make power. Yeah, I can mute that. It may be loud, but I think we'll hear it. It'll be really loud in beam, that's for sure. Yeah, so it's not the best sounding engine I've ever heard, and I won't pretend it is, but it sounds a lot better than that 4-cylinder. I mean, it actually has some character to it. It's got a 302 kilo engine. That's part of why it's heavy as it is. But I think it's definitely going to stay about 1750, even when I've changed some stuff with it. We can fix this transmission. I would like more gears, but I should learn not to complain when stuff is already working out okay. It does make me think of the C6 Corvette in a few ways, though. Just like the overall power and the fact it's got 5 gears and stuff. I don't know if the C5 ever had a C6, sorry, had a 5-speed auto, but it's possible later in its production one that would be the case. I don't know, even in the 2000s, I guess 5-speed autos were kind of a thing. We have got almost 200 miles per hour. This is good, like almost 200 from a car which is not even that powerful. It's got to have some half-decent aero to it. And it does have downforce parts, remember. I think we've got a sport undertray, so not a full-out race one, but with front and rear aero, we should be able to get positive downforce, really stick this thing to the road. I mean, I could be wrong on that. It looks like it's making quite a bit of lift, but if I just ramp these up. We do have active wing and cooling flaps, though. I know, it's okay. I'm just being a bit dumb. I haven't added any front aero. There is a way I can actually kind of integrate it a little better. Now I'm just thinking about it. Because I don't really want to stick bits on the front. It's actually fairly smooth front end, but as per the wheel's request, I do need some extra bits. So if we go... There's aero lips. I mean, I've done it before, though, on a car, and it worked out quite nicely, so I didn't realise at the time that adding wings doesn't actually kind of add wings, for lack of a better term. But yeah, here we go. So this will work if I go, maybe flip this around. It's not going to stay red, it will actually go for correct colour. But if I lower this and I just have these like little winglets on the bonnet. Oh, actually no, I've had a better idea still. Like, these are not actual vents, but I can kind of have them play the part of being vents. And as I say, these are actually downforce parts, so they will provide downforce. So if we go 1, 2. So this is our front downforce parts, but it doesn't look too much like front downforce parts. It looks a bit more like bonnet vents, so it doesn't look massively out of place. It doesn't like stick sticky outy bits on the front of a car, but it still provides us some downforce. Little trick that should hopefully do something for me. We have performed... I don't know what's going on with this headlight. Oh, no, I think I do. That's an air intake. There is an air intake sticking out. I might have to change the front a little to be longer, because that won't do. I can't read that, but I don't know what language that is, and I only understand English. I mean, it's probably something obvious, or a reference again I'm not getting. I don't get many references. So this is 32 grand. For comparison, or 32,000 I guess, not in English, because grand is a very English thing. But it's 32,000. The other one, I think it was like just over 30,000 for that completely messed up vehicle, and this is 32,000 for an actual legitimate sports car. Crazy things, crazy world we live in. Now I'm gonna have to find the body morphs to try and. No, it needs to be wider. I should be able to make that go out a little more. Because if I don't do this, then there's going to be a massive air intake sticking out the front. That fixes it, I think, to the point it's not as much of an issue, but it's still an issue. We have to... Yeah, I think we have to do something with that. So, well, that's a well. I don't know what to do about that air intake other than maybe change the engine size, but I don't want to change the engine size. Don't know if that means I'm going to take it in beam. I'm going to drive this in beam. Beam engine, I know that much. But, yeah, that air intake, that's just crazy. That is crazy. Why are you doing this? I don't think I can reroute it or anything either. The only thing I could think to do is either change the headlights or... Oh, Canadian French. I don't know. Can't say I've ever tried to speak Canadian French. I mean... I don't know, I did do German once at school. I was not good at it. So, yeah. You know what, this is actually kind of cursed having the lights this high up. But I don't hate the cursed. Maybe I can actually get it working. If I put this down here... I might be able to get this to work. It's going to look odd, but it's better than just having the bits of air intake sticking out. I'm almost doing it like my car, which literally has a mustache in it. Like if you've seen the X7 Citroen C5, the thing literally has a mustache on the design. Like on the front grille area. There we go. Somewhere around here. That is not perfect. Maybe if I pivot the lights a little. Like that's gonna have to work, I think. For better or worse. For better or worse, this is our car now, which probably has a mustache. I know, that's basically what I'm thinking. It's not cursed enough. I don't like it. It should be absolutely cursed. I mean, it has a mustache. It has a mustache now, but... what to make of that? I mean, there's this. I don't know why, but I kind of like that. Maybe I like it because it looks vaguely like the Citroen. Why do I feel like I'm just building this car to look like a Citroen? Not even like intentionally, just because I like that car. I'm trying to like subconsciously build it to look like that. I don't know, I just can't get this working. There's green here though, and I want the colour scheme to be continuous, but it doesn't seem to want to be continuous. I mean, there's still the demonic minion back end that I think I've done something with. I could give it a Pontiac grill. Is that a Pontiac? I don't know. It's something. I feel like this will just Americanise the whole thing, putting an American grill on it. Maybe if I change the shape with the body morphs, because I did stretch the front out and I don't think that was that necessary. Nope, I've just broken the car now. No, it needs a curve to actually work. Like this grille has a curve. It looks sad now. Well, I mean, it's unintentional, but I made something cursed. That is some face. I think this is some face I've put on it. This is a grill I could probably use. I do need some craziness going on, I think, though. I can't have it too sensible. Can probably make this transparent, so it actually like feeds air through and it isn't a blocked off grill. This can be the more mesh type. So it's got air intake. I think there's probably something. There is probably something on here. I could give it a badge there to be the nose. So we turn this the other way up. I feel like the other one, the one advantage to having a completely cursed vehicle was that I wasn't scared of ruining it. This I kind of am. Yeah. I think he looks a bit less angry now, but back then he kind of did. I think it's called the biblically accurate minion. I just remembered I'd named it that. I feel like I need more cursed craziness. I could add some vents on the back, which I think will be funny, because it kind of looks mid-engined, even though that doesn't go anywhere. So it's like, if you see this car, they're just going to look off. If you see it and you know the engineering and stuff. Either that or it's a kind of, well, it looks cool, so I did it. I can actually make this part transparent as well. It goes to nowhere. Either that, or the most logical way of seeing it is brake cooling. There we go. It now has vents. Could add some vents on the front as well, even though they're going to be behind the engine. And a Mogus vent, that's the thing. These could look kind of crazy. I think if we turn these 90 degrees, I feel like I've just got too sensible at building these designs, and so I don't know how to actually go wild with them as well. I think maybe if I elongated them. It's a muscle car. We know because it's got massive hood vents, bonnet vents, whatever. So we have that. There we go. Those vents don't go into the engine. We don't know where they go, but they're behind the engine. Square vent. This is where, this actually, this is some lore. This is actually where Among Us sneak into the engine bay. That's the only purpose of this vent. I'm not sure I like it. Maybe if I colour match it. It's not the festive car we wanted. It's the festive car we needed. That could act as an air outtake for the engine. That's all I got here. I mean, it looks like it's mid-engined. I keep getting that thought, though. This looks like it's a mid-engined car, but it isn't. I've had an idea. Because it looks like it's mid-engined, I do get this feeling it needs cooling on the back. So, naturally, we need a mustache. Because I feel like I could just do a vent between the tail lights, but it wouldn't be amusing at all. If, however, we have the mustache, I can make this whole thing black as well, like the same kind of black, glossy black I've used elsewhere. It is now mustache. Honestly, I can probably just make it black plastic. It would look more like a mustache. I'll have to see how it looks. Oh, could go carbon fibre as well. I'm just going to make it carbon fibre. The biblically accurate minion returns. Yes, jolly good. It does need exhausts. Oh, I could have used exhausts. Wait, I've had an idea. It's maybe not the best idea, but I've had a kinda cursed idea. So this can no longer just be the not at all cursed vehicle. It can be. So we're going to remove everything here. We're going to go transparent. And you know this needs exhausts? And you know there's a lot of space at the back that's not really being used for anything? And you know we can get squarish exhausts? I think this is kind of cursed in all the right places. They've become more nostrils, honestly, than I don't hate the idea, but they have become more nostrils than the mustache that it was. I think if I just use a 3D, it's probably going to work a little better. We can then maybe pivot it a little. I think that will do. It's not perfectly aligned, but I'm also not selecting it. I think I'll make this carbon fibre too, because I know it's not realistic for an exhaust, but it will match. If I do this, it will actually kind of match the rest of it now. I mean, that makes the whole exhaust carbon, but where is the mirror tool? I think I just have to select OK on that. There we go. The minion with a mustache. And they're also exhausts, even if they don't look it. But I do feel I need to make the deeper part of it just completely black. Yeah, so revert that. I feel like that actually does just look better. If I make the whole exhaust actually that kind of like black colour. Well, not glossy plastic, matte plastic maybe. Yeah, you wouldn't make an exhaust out of plastic in reality, but just to get this working from a colour perspective. It's kind of a nose, and it's also a mustache. I don't know what exactly it is, but it's got a mouth, which is also a badge. We can mirror this onto the front. I've just realised this is a biblically correct minion actually wearing eyeliner. I want to give it eyebrows now. Well, eyelashes probably more like than eyebrows, but still, I want to give it them. Or I could just give it a massive unibrow across the whole back end. I think I'll give it a unibrow. Probably needs mirrors as well. I probably should have thought of adding the mirrors. So we'll pivot that. There we go. I mean, I'm not sure if I can actually select multiple. I don't think I can. That is also not the correct one. I'm going to have to do this. It's not necessarily the good idea, but I think I'll have to lower the whole face. Then we have just wondering what's going on with the wheel because it scrolled down the page. So we're going to have to lower these just enough on my biblically accurate minion. Looks like it's around some really high, whatever it is that minions wear. Kind of like the lower half of the outfit looks weird, like it's really high on the belt. That's the idea I get. So, oh, I've had an idea. I think I've had a really bad idea, a bad cursed idea. I think I'm going to have to go in 3D to get this working as I want. Could probably actually raise them up a little now I've got this sorted. I couldn't look away from this monitor for a moment because I was so focused on getting this right. Should really be talking about what I'm doing, but it is a thing. I mean, I don't know. I would say change the colour, but no. Italian minion. Why do I get those feelings? So it's the minion's Italian cousin, I don't know. I think this is art. Probably not, but anyway, the mouth isn't really recognisable as a mouth, but anyway, it's got a moustache, it's got a mouth, it's got 2 eyes and eyebrows. I don't think we need a wing because the lower splitter actually does that. I can also change the colour of this, like this just doesn't match it at all. I should have really fixed that before. Looks a little less cursed now, but also the back is very cursed. So at least even though the front is kind of sensible, at least we've got a cursed element here. So we have to get the door handles and the mirrors. And then I think we'll be done for the overall design. I want some kind of interesting mirrors. Like these look sporty. Modern mirrors. Don't know what exactly these are from, but they look pretty good. They look like they could work. I could actually keep the red going though. If I have the red theming here, or even the black, and I have it on top of the attachment point, which will match the green. I don't know, I think... idea. So I think green, and then we want these parts to be the kind of black or carbon. We could go with carbon mirrors, but I think I want them to match the. I think I want them to match the other roof element. So that is a way of doing mirrors. I mean, I'm not sure about these side vents. I think the rest of it is actually fairly cohesive, even the minion. The biblically correct minion for the tail. And we do actually have exhausts which go through the nose, or a moustache, I don't know. So, we need door handles. I could have put a rear bumper on it, although it's a modern car, it wouldn't work as well. I think here, they're just not going anywhere. If we put that kind of thing... Yeah, that's actually got some outtake now. Probably doesn't need any mesh though, to be honest. I could probably just make this transparent and it would still kind of work. Maybe even better than it did. I've just thought, where would the number plate go? Probably between the eyes, I don't know. Call them eyes. They're technically tail lights, but I do call them eyes. Somehow I'm feeling these door handles. No, I need something a bit more modern. I mean, they probably don't need keyholes, but I like that on my cars. It's practical. I should probably mention now that apparently automation doesn't like AMD 7000 series cards. Exactly what I have. It's weird because I don't have problems with automation. Everything else fails before automation does. I feel like that door handle is just too small. If I made it a little larger. Perhaps unrealistically large, but still. I feel like it's going to open the wrong way round even. Nah, maybe that's okay. We are going to make these wheels work and stuff as well. We do have to do that. But I'm quite happy with the exterior design elements. I think it could have been a lot worse. Now, we do have to check the aerodynamics. I mean, there is one thing I can try. If it's not making positive downforce, I can lower it. So it's making loads of positive front downforce, but lift on the back. I mean, I do believe, as I was saying, I could lower it a little. It's actually got good suspension travel, which surprises me. It's got quite a bit of it. It's not super low to the ground as it looks. And I mean, the suspension isn't the best, but it's an entirely serviceable setup. So it should be pretty good for performance. It's also active comfort. Not active sport, which seems a bit odd. I guess if we're talking about a Grand Tourer more than a just brute performance car. 1800 kilos, so it's got heavier. I don't think that's going to be an issue. So what's the, what was the aero again? Yeah, so we've got a bit of lift there on the front, but I think if we, or the rear, sorry, should I say? Yeah, it's making rear end lift. Just to check something else, I'll see if adding some kind of rear wing will fix that issue. I can probably add one on top of the roof, actually. Actually, I've had another cursed idea. For some reason, all the cursed ideas are coming at the back. Not at the front of the car. We've got a... Ooh, if this works. This is going to be actually pretty cursed if it actually works. Or it'll look like a Stratos, one of the two. Probably have to go with a 3D mode to get what I want to working. You can now no longer open your boot. Well, you probably can, because that's where the boot is... The, what's it, wing is mounted to. If I could get a curved version of that, that would actually be perfect. That actually is cohesive as well, surprisingly enough. Yeah, so that, if I can tune this wing correctly, this is going to look actually pretty amazing. Don't know if there's different sizes or heights. So if we can go, bring that round. I think if we make this a larger wing in general. Raise that up. And there's still some rear visibility, not much, it's not great, but there is rear visibility. I think if we go like more like that. There we go. It doesn't line up with the colour though, I'm going to have to fix that. So, there is the wing. I'm not sure I like the green colouring there, but I could try and change it to black. There's not a whole lot I can do and actually get this working. Could make it carbon fibre, because all the carbon fibre on the back is that colour at the back, but I think that works the best. So that's if it was unhappy about there not being a proper wing on the back, and I was just completely wrong about everything. Now it's still making a lot of rear end lift. I'm not sure what's going on there. Why is there like so much lift on the back? I do have one chance though, because I didn't ask it before, but the wheel does need to decide what kind of active aero we do or do not get. So we have not got an active wing. Do we get cooling flaps? Oh, is it going to be a 2? Very close, but we get cooling flaps. Will that magically make it have rear downforce? It's unlikely, but you never know. Apparently so. It now makes incredibly much rear aerodynamics. So has cooling flaps magically saved this thing and made it usable? At this point, I don't know. I'm just lost. So it's making positive downforce front and rear now. We have achieved it, and all it took was adding 2 features which I didn't roll for before. So I'm not even cheating it, I'm just literally just asking the wheel, and it said you may have cooling flaps, and then sudden downforce. Who knows why? The magic of car building. I'm not going to give it loads of downforce, I'm just going to give it enough to pin itself to the road at high speeds. So, probably going to want a little more than this. Let's try 6, 7, 8. Yeah, in general, that's some aero to pin it to the ground. A little more on the back, I think, and then we'll probably be there. Yeah, so not much on the front, not much on the back, but it's enough that should help pin this car down and stop it getting high-speed lift, which we do not want. I don't know how the top speed is going to be as it stands. Somehow lower than it was likely. Yeah, 184. This is still one of the quickest cars I have built with the wheel. Even if it doesn't make insane power. I think the best I had was like that BMW type thing with the 800 horse engine for acceleration at least. But 5.2 seconds is solid. So the brakes are suffering from severe brake fade. We can fix that much. Just trying to get this whole thing together. We can go with massive brakes here. One thing I could try is make the wheels smaller and then make the tyres wider. See if this gives me any more acceleration. Because if it doesn't, I can smallen them again. Yeah, 5.2. I don't think this is enough to really, you know, make need of a lot more. I can make the wheels larger though. And they do look good on this car at the very least. So we've not got massive tyres, but if we go make them... Yeah, we can make these sidewall a little taller, and that'll give me 245s. It's not great, but it's enough that I think it should work. The front brake force is low compared to grip. So we've got 46.4. I can try just absurdly large drum brakes. It doesn't look good, but if we need a last ditch braking performance, which we kind of do, 41.3, 41.2. The front brakes are not good, and I won't pretend they are, especially not for a big car, but we have got massive drums, and that is definitely going to count for something. So we could probably go 100 on the back brakes, but just make them a little larger until we like hit the extra braking performance. 41.1. The rear brake force is very high. It's not complaining about fade yet. So 41.1, does that... Okay, so we can make the rears a little larger and gain a small amount of performance by that, but they are still carbon ceramics. So 175. So they are tiny, but they're not really going to hit for brake fade because they are carbon ceramics. As I say, there will probably be some brake fade, but slightly unutilized fuel octane. The brakes are suffering from brake fade, apparently. I might have to have a look at that later, but it's probably okay, to be honest. We have the engine. We can go back to the engine, just do some final tweaking. If we can get 190 mph top speed on this, I will be quite happy. So, unutilized fuel octane, that's what we can fix. Yeah, it does not like the fuel octane at all. Apparently I'm running it really messed up. Because it was like saying the compression was really low, basically. There is, I think, the fuel mixture. So in the case of just brute power, I can try and play around with a fuel mixture a little. Then maybe we'll get the majestic 400 horsepower that I do desire. I mean, I got a little more. I got like 0.1 of a horsepower more. 17.9 miles per gallon, which is not that bad, honestly, compared to the other things. The wheel built something, and I think it was like 6.7, mean brilliant 6.7 miles per gallon, but it was even lower, I think, after I did some tuning to try and get the thing to drive better. The header can be made larger and make more power this way. So we've got 380. I mean, worst case, we have to stick with about 380 for horsepower. But there is nothing wrong with 380 horsepower. That is still solid. So if we just try changing these valve timings and stuff. The other thing I can say, it does seem like a pretty solid 380 we're getting. So if I lower that, could try lowering the VVL profile, or VVL RPM. 4,000 may be better, I do not know. I mean, it's revving to 7,100, which is very close to the limits of the engine. Ah, I could lower the VVL profile if it doesn't hit power, which it kind of did. $381. I mean, I'm going to say that there is a bit of a dip there when the VVL kicks in, but I think we're on to something. I don't think it's going to want to rev lower, and I certainly don't want to rev it higher just for engine safety means. Yeah, so I think 7100 works okay. It at least gives it some overrun after the peak RPM. I think we can still pull some performance out of this. I'm going to just leave it at I'm going to leave it at 381 unless I can get a little extra from a fuel mixture or something, which doesn't seem to be the case. There we go. So the rear tyres are wide, apparently. They're like 245s. I somehow don't buy that. They're not wide tyres, especially for something with this power level. I mean, they're not the narrowest I could have put on it, but they're not wide. Automation just always seems to say that the tyres are wide, even when they are not wide. It's like you build a decent 60s sports car and it tells you something like 185s are too wide. 185s are good, they're definitely not too wide for that type of sports car. So if I stop the music again, we can hear this more finalised version of the engine. I do imagine this is going to be a lot louder in BeamNG. So that's a thing. Just have the volume leveling is okay. With the music. Doing 187. I could try and like lower this top speed because I don't see a need to have that much top speed. 187.5. So that loses 0.3 of a mile per hour tightening it up like that, but I think I can take that. I mean, if I'm to go like really load up that's 7.9 if I really extend the first gear. I mean, I feel like it could go quicker. Yeah, 5.3. So this is definitely not the quickest off the line, and I won't pretend it is. But it has some performance. 5. If I could get this down to 5 seconds, I would be more than happy. But I don't think I'm going to get that much performance from it. $187.1. I'm sure it's lost like a few points of acceleration there. I mean, it hit 60 by the looks of it in third gear. A bit odd then it's doing that and not 5.1 with slightly different gearing. I don't know. It has only got 5 gears though for quite a lot of speed. So all I can try and do, I think, is just change the first gear. I mean, I think you can go into... Yeah, you can go into more fine-tuning, but I don't want to mess with that too much. I just want to get it working. And I feel like there's only certain means. I just want to get good acceleration out of this, and however I can. Seems like smaller adjustments here will get me what I want. So tightening the first gear. Yes, I think 28. There, and then... Okay, I'll take this. 5.1 seconds 0 to 60. I'm honestly surprised it's not faster, but I think that might just be the weight and the naturally aspirated engine. Got some massive wheels. Massive diameter wheels. They're not very wide. Gonna have to bring them out like so. Don't think we need to widen the body any more than it is. I could see definitely this competing with a few of the built-in sports cars though, like the ETK K-Series in Beam. I could see this somewhat competing with that. I mean, it looks a lot more menacing than it actually is, I feel, for performance. It's not going to be as quick as it looks, but it's definitely going to be quick. I can tell that now. I mean, the fact we even got alloy wheels, despite everything, it even looks good because of that. So, 1847, it's getting a lot heavier though, bit by bit. 5.2 0 to 60. I think that's just widening the track width has done that. Double check the aero because various like track width adjustments and stuff can change that. And then I'll know if I have to change it in a moment. It's similar. I might be able to actually remove a little rear downforce. I'll have to see how it goes. Nope. I cannot change that. It just goes into the lift on the back. It is now making positive downforce front and rear, and I will take that as a win. And it's also doing almost 190 on the top end. So... suspension, that was the other thing. So it's as low as it'll go for now. It's a all-around decent all-wheel drive car. The front dampers are hard. We can adjust all this. Might want a bit less unto roll on the back. I'm going to generally go with whatever the drivability score says because that's apparently how drivable it is. The other car was so messed up that the drivability score didn't do a whole lot to speak of it and how you should tune it. There we go. I mean, I'm sending 70% of the power to the back, so I can change that, but I just don't think there will be a need to. It seems like a pretty decent ratio. If it suddenly started oversteering, but I don't think it will because it's front transverse. If it's rear engine, you might want to send a bit more to the front, but it's not. So it's saying the front dampers are hard. I mean, maybe it wants the whole springs stiffer, though. If that's what makes it corner. Don't want to mess too much with the dampers before I've got the bases sorted. I mean, it is holding the... It is holding the handling score as well as I think it could need to be. Having this stiff certainly wouldn't hurt with the type of car that it is. So we've got 3.8 there. There is also, like, you can only have a car so stiff before you start hitting into issues. So it says the rear dampers are hard. I can't do much about the clearance in the front of the engine. I'm working within the limitations. It's actually surprisingly softly sprung on the front. I was kind of expecting that to be firmer. It's not complaining. I thought these dampers would be too stiff. It isn't actually complaining about the front dampers, which is interesting. Because I'm pretty sure the dampers on the front, like, benefit from being stiffened, at least handling and stuff. It's just generally working. I can reduce the camber on the front, it seems to like that. I was just leaving that on the default, which is a little camber on the front and rear. I get the feeling it might want more camber on the back, and to be fair, I have got symmetrical cross-ply tyres, which don't tend to fare as well as radials at rear end grip. So if this gives it the rear end grip it so desires, then that is something. Could probably go with positive camber on the front. I mean, they are a bit more of a pain to work with, though. And I'm going to have to just deal with the cross plies, because that's a hand I have been dealt. In the grand scheme of things, it could be a lot worse. I just don't get it, though. Like, how can the wheel, in one day, go from building the most cursed car in all of existence to something that's actually pretty competent? The one thing that's done that's really cruel is the cross-ply tyres. Everything else, it's made decisions that I can deal with quite easily. So we can soften these anti-wall bars, apparently, making it more drivable. The drivability score is up in the higher 60s, so I think as far as a wheel build goes, that's pretty good. I can't say for certain how it's going to pan out, but I really do think this is going to be one of the best handling cars that it has built. I mean, I am thinking, though, with the whole wheel thing, I know, as I say, cross-ply doesn't quite like having the matched tyre widths on the front and rear. They actually seem to favour having smaller front tyres. So until it actually affects acceleration, I could probably lower the front tyre widths and still not really lose performance. I'm going to keep the 245s. The car understeers. Isn't it saying it oversteers at all then? I don't know, maybe it's just the layout then. It's not oversteering though, even with the wide front tyres, so I don't know what to make of that. Maybe it's because it's front engined. Why does it like having the massive amounts of camber though? I don't know. I feel like I'll use sportiness here. Like if a camber... Because drivability just seems to like loads of camber. I'm going to just try checking the sportiness measure, because if there's... Yeah, so sportiness probably is best to use for adjusting the camber, because if drivability just prefers camber, like masses of camber for no good reason. There we go, so 1.6 is actually fair. It's a lot of camber, but the kind you could imagine being on an actual sports car. Once you start going beyond that, can just get ridiculous. Again, maybe it's technically more controllable, but sportiness tells a different story about how it affects it, and even comfort. Sportiness actually wants negative camber on the front. Interesting. I don't know, I think if I try one front and rear maybe, and then I'll go from there. I do feel like automation just has a tendency to say have camber. I'm learning things. I think that's a decent balance. Myself, I would say 0.70 on the front and 1.4 on the rear. That could probably work. My intuition is saying that, so that's what I will go with. Then we can try adjusting the springs to match. So it looks like a little more spring stiffness on the front does it some good. Bit more dampers. I mean, I'm not against adding stiffness to the front because this car's overall layout, that's probably going to help. And then we can try adjusting the sway bars, front and rear actually. The front one likes being pretty soft, or pretty stiff should I say, but not super stiff. 67.1 on the drivability. For drivability it is doing very well. 3200. And we have got 67.1. I mean, I'll take this. Just a bit of adjustment to the rear springs. It doesn't want them stiffening, that's for sure. 67.1. Rear dampers are hard. As I say, I think the actual music has finished. I will be exporting this in a moment anyway, so it won't matter too much. Just do a bit of final adjustment on the gearing, and we should be good to go. No, I was just thinking, can we get it faster? No, that makes it slower. I'll just make it as quick as I can on the... If I can't get past 5.2, I'll just accept that. Now, I think I want this to be as... I want the spread to be a little higher because that affects high speed. Overall high speed acceleration. The things like the first gear affect the low speed acceleration. Well, I'm not losing 0 to 60 by making that. In fact, I have gained it. Yes, 5.0, okay. A little bit of adjustment here, and I'm actually getting this thing faster than it was. I am liking it. Can try extending that a little. Yeah, 36 first gear. So, I think it's going to move the weight quite well for what it is. 5 seconds 0 to 62. Could be a lot worse. It's not the fastest thing ever, but it's going to do a job. And I think it's going to do that job quite well. Oh dear. That was a nightmare mobile. So, yeah, I think these settings are correct. The brakes I didn't spend that long on. I think the brakes will be okay. I can always fix them later if they are that messed up. I think I did enough to just get the brakes working for now. I mean, they should be drivable, that's for sure. Finalised the export, so I will be switching over to BeamNG to let this this nightmare machine grace the screen, and then I will see how it drives. I'm going to take it around the test track. I think I did manage to get the what was it called around there? Failure of a vehicle. And I've done that. I've taken that around there. So we should be able to just drive this and see how it will compare. I think I took the first car around as well that I made. The kind of rally retro style thingy. And that's odd. I mean, I think I changed my display scaling and now BeamNG is at the top of the screen, not on the edge. Yeah, there we go. Launch. Yeah, I've seemed to launch BeamNG twice. Anyway, it has worked. So that is a thing. Now, I am going to have to turn the desktop audio down on OBS, which is... I saw it called OBS as well. I've always called it OBS, but that must also be a way of saying it. So we'll get rid of that ugly vehicle and try and take this somewhere where it might be good. There's Italy. It looks kind of Italian in some ways. So we'll go next step. Oh, it drives terrible. I mean, good. Ah, there it is. This is the one I built before. It's in Beam, but it's not in automation. I lost it in automation, but the Beam car remains, so I can drive the lost vehicle as well. I was going to time trial it. I'll do that after I've taken it to Italy. So we've got what was it called? I called it Wheel at least. I've forgotten the name of my own car. That was biblically accurate minion. I can speak at some point. So we have to see. I will be time trialing it, as I say. Let's just hope let's just hope that Beam doesn't take ages to load in. I think it's just got a lot to load because my PC isn't bad. I put it together, so I should know enough about how it is set up. I've got the perfect GPU for automation because apparently automation crashes loads with it. That's exactly what you want when you're streaming a game. It's also, there's like Radeon 7000 series and then there's Radeon HD 7000. Yeah, 44 years. I want to see the exhaust. Oh, it's not making smoke. Some of them make like smoke and stuff when you accelerate. This isn't doing it, or it's not like coloured enough. So I do have manual mode, which is interesting. It seems a bit slower than I expected, though. I think it's just the looks of it get you expecting more. Let's see how it does on the dirt. It does understeer a little, but I'd rather have that than oversteer. Actually, I'm just thinking we do have traction control. If I am daring, drive mode sport, drive mode off. So I think that means the traction assists are off. Yeah, it drives a bit better now, I think. I'm not going flat out because I am a little afraid of it, especially on the dirt. It's composed. It's a little on the understeery side, which makes sense because it's a large car. Yeah, it is pretty quiet. Actually, I think that's partly my fault, but it said it had 2 straight-through mufflers, so I wasn't going to take chances. Just trying to put it in there so I can... should be audible now. That was my fault, sorry, because it said it had 2 straight-through mufflers, and I was thinking, due to what I'd exported before, it was going to be extremely loud. It isn't loud. It is quiet. Anyway, I don't know if it's audible now beneath my voice. I mean, it's really quiet. I was not expecting this. As I say, it's got very little in the way of muffling. You wouldn't expect it to be absolutely quiet like this. I mean, it does show as there actually being sound. Yeah, that's me when I'm trying to check the OBS settings instead of actually driving. I don't know why these cars all go spiky. I don't know if they're trying some new crash model or something on, like, automation cars. They do definitely deform more than they used to, but the whole spiking thing is a little wild. Like, this car should not be so good as it is, though. Yeah. It feels at times like it's not got ABS, but as I say, I didn't put that much time into the brakes. I just did what was needed. I do want to drive it, but I don't want to drive it for the same reason I wanted to drive certain other cars, which is like I overcame a challenge. This car is just good. But it is less fun because of that in a way. I mean, I'll bring up the one that's lost to history because, just briefly, let's hope it doesn't send it off a cliff. It was somewhere here. I don't think I called it a wheel, though. I would call it something else. Where did it hide? Where is it hiding? It's got to be somewhere. Yeah, I do think it looks old. I do think it looks better than the older Crash model, but it does go very spiky, and I'm not sure why. I mean, I've got a few of my random vehicles, but there it is. I found it. This is all I've got of it, though, because it's disappeared in automation. Oh dear, I threw it off a cliff as well. Ah, hi, Tomoyo. I am driving cars. The wheel built a car. It's less cursed. It built more. I have to show the other cursed one. The word, what's it? The mistake of a car. It is very cursed. Spawn new. It'll probably launch it off a cliff again. Oh no, it hasn't done it this time. It's been kind. Leaf springs on the front and independent double wishbones on the rear. And the worst looks of any car. I looked at the character. It's got a white Miku, which is white hair Miku, which is apparently a thing now. The Vocaloid pack does have some odd colours. So this is one that was lost to history and doesn't show up in automation. Yeah. I mean, I like the tongue, honestly. That's probably one of my best car design ideas ever. I mean, this car, you've got 2 gears and that's it. So, as you can imagine, it's taken a sports car, which for some reason looks like a SUV, and doesn't even have all-wheel drive. And it could have been good. It's certainly fun to drive, but then a lemon. Isn't a lemon a bad car? And then this is the latest one, which I'm going to be taking around the track. It's just good. I'm disappointed because this car's too good. It's also a biblically accurate minion. That is its legitimate name. I don't know if the avatars are showing. It's basically Vocaloid pack, Pear Ella, and Sakura and Cheese. They're the ones that I've got. And also a Among Us crewmate. Can actually show the Parella. Because I make stuff. Yay. Imagine if I misspelled my own character. Is that making my PC stutter? I don't know. Am I even clicked fully on BeamNG window? I will be test driving this anyway. Ow, yes, I have become pet. I shouldn't be looking at that monitor. Well, this is falling off a cliff now. Partially. So we have that was it. The time trials. I have tested a couple of others. Yes, I definitely didn't get the ideas from chat. Definitely not. I mean, the failure of a vehicle. The failure of a vehicle, that was just the wheel being cruel, honestly. But it's hard to believe that it was the same wheel that designed both cars. On one, it was actually fairly kind to me and built a good car. On the other one, it was just messing everything up as much as it could. We have to load this. This is actually seeming to load a bit quicker. I mean, I do have to try and turn the ESC off because I honestly think it makes it drive worse. But hey, the other one didn't even have ABS. So, we're already winning. And now the exhaust works. I think drive mode sport, drive mode off. There we go. It's yeah, that's the Minion's mustache, which is also the exhaust. Yay, let's cut this corner. It's not actually bad over the bumps. The other one, you try to avoid bumps at all costs. Yeah, I need to stop looking at the chat monitor when I'm trying to drive. It's a failing of mine. I did actually upload a version of that also to my Discord, the car files, because I do that for all the stream cars, so anyone that wants to mess around with an automation and perhaps fix them or make them worse, whatever can do it. I'll probably do it to this one as well. It actually looks like it hasn't got a back window. It has, it's just tiny. I'm just kind of frustrated. This car drives far too well. It has got eyebrows. The eyebrows is definitely something. Thanks for adding the channel. I mean, I know, like, I'm trying to pay attention to everything, but I'm actually supposed to be driving. If this car drove worse, I would have thrown it into a wall. Oh dear. Look, believe me, I mess up typically at this corner. I'm not very good at driving, and I have slightly bent the front wheel. It's drivable, okay? If this car was bad to drive, I would have completely destroyed it, so I'm going to take that as a win. The car was able to somewhat save itself, and I can probably get another lap in now. Because it's very lightly damaged. I can still drive it at some speed. Ah, yeah, the brakes could do with a little work, but they are working, they are functional, and they are very predictable overall. And this is just built by a wheel. I wouldn't have expected the wheel to actually do a job of things like this. There we are, so... Also, there's the badge, you can probably see on the back, but it's like the O with the arrow next to it. That's representative of the wheel. Yeah. Believe me, that C5 drives really nicely. It's, that's probably the only reason I can drive, because that car is just so nice to drive. Although it does sound, I think it just sounds like a bomb. Believe me, there's a Citroen C4. The C4 sounds like something that's going to explode. I don't believe they are known for exploding, but naming a car C4, maybe it's not the best idea. It's also not to be confused with the Corvette C5. Like, they have the exact same name. Well, technically it's called Corvette, but they have both the exact same name assigned to them. The C5 is not a C5. So there's, I guess you could say there's like 4 C5s now. There's the first gen, the second gen, the third gen Citroens, and then there's the Chevrolet Corvette C5. Couldn't be confusing at all. I need to focus on where I'm driving. I mean, this surprises me how quiet it is. I'd say that's the biggest surprise. I expected this thing to be really a lot louder when it got into the game because there's no mufflers. It is not loud. It is actually really quiet, and I'm going to have to slow here because I can feel already it's getting quite precarious. I think this corner ends up taking me by surprise because I just don't realise how tight it is. Yeah, the Corvette C4. Yeah, see, that's the issue with Citroens. They had, I think they had like C1, C2, C3, C4, C5, C6. For some reason, no C7, and then they had a C8 minivan. Go figure how. I actually looked up things for a C5, and it brought up Corvette C5 forums. So that should say all you need to know about the confusion. And it's two cars, you know, they're so different. As far as I know, there's never been a Corvette with 5 seats. Oh dear, understeer, understeer. It really isn't that bad, though. I've built worse. It kind of looks like it's drunk because of a slight front wheel misalignment, which is my fault. That's not to do with the wheel, actually, this time. I can't blame the wheel for that fault. Come on, I'm going to just cut across here. That was actually fairly within the track limits, surprisingly enough. I think that's lap 2. I am going to go at some speed here. I think this is going to be the quickest car, to be honest, because it's making power, it's making controllable power to all 4 wheels. And it's very flat and stable. The other one I built, the kind of retro rally thing it was building, it didn't make the same power as this, and it wasn't as stable on the whole. This thing is extremely stable. Like, even with a minor amount of steering angle damage I have done, it's still very predictable. Can I cut this corner? Yay! I just about did. Car, yes. To be fair, it is kind of red. It built a very festive car colour-wise, because I didn't choose these colours. It wasn't a wheel exactly, but it was a random colour generator that chose these colours. And it made a very festive car. I added the black roof and stuff, but some of the black trim, but it chose the red and green colours. They were of the wheels choosing. I need to slow down, I need to slow down. Wait, did they actually release a new DS? Because it's kind of sacrilege if they didn't give that hydraulics. Or at the very least, some kind of air suspension. And I had another accident. The second lap was good, though, at least. So through all of it. Now it's veering, I think it's veering the other way, is it? I don't know. No, I think it's veering the same way. Steering damages. It's jolly good. I'll have to bring out the Santa truck thing briefly that it built. Like, that was not on a stream, but they literally built a truck for Santa, which I found pretty amusing. With the colours and everything. That, I would say, is probably quicker than this, actually. But this car, I would say, is generally a little nicer to drive. The only thing on this is the tyres. It's not selected great tyres, but for a random wheel, this is just a little too good. Ah, if they did. The issue is, with what cars they're launching now, I somehow don't feel they would do a good job with a lot of the retro ones, because it's like the Renault 5 thing they made. They had to make it a complicated electric car, when the point of the Renault 5 was it was always a simple, cheap car. So they kind of just ran against it, trying to make it kind of like a somewhat luxurious electric car. It just runs against what the Renault 5 is supposed to be, in my opinion. Or was it... I think it was the Renault 5. Oh dear, what's happening? Has the game... Oh no, I think... Yeah. J, is it? Yeah. It got stuck in like the freeze frame mode, which is an actual thing in this game. I was terrified something had gone completely wrong with my PC. Anyway, we can reset this. As you'll see, the exhaust coming out of the mustache. Probably one of my best design features ever. We have a mustache on the front, apparently. Looks like I've got a weird obsession with mustaches today. I did actually build something. I don't think it's in Beam, but a long time ago I did like try and build a C5 in automation. It didn't work out all that well. Yeah, I don't think it's exported, but I did try a long time ago to build somewhat of like my C5. Not exact, but still. That's the wheel power monster and stuff. We have a few of these. What was I getting at? The terrible car I could bring. Oh no, the Santa truck, that was it. This is the Santa truck. Like they literally built a Santa truck. I think I played around with the colours a little on this to make the red more sparkly and stuff, but still. Like this is 580 horsepower. This is not slow, and I think it has a 10 speed or something. Or is it 6 speed? That's still not bad. I think it's automated manual. Like, this is nice. As I say, the other one handles a little nicer, but this is actually genuinely quick. And it's got a V12, a 9-litre V12. I think this is noisier. This actually has a lot more sound to it. Yeah, the Twingo is... I quite like the little Twingo. I mean, that stayed fairly true to its purpose. The Renault 5, though, like, all they had to do was what they did with the Twingo, honestly. But they gone and put loads of electrics and stuff in there and trying to turn it into an electric car. It's fine if you're trying to do that on something that was like an intentional GT car. It might work, but on a small economy car, I just don't see that working. There's the dirt track. You didn't see this. I'm definitely not like teleporting through the track limits. You just didn't see that. That never happened. This is also on cross-ply tyres, might I mention. Has an obsession with putting everything on cross-ply tyres. Whee! I mean, it does build cars at times that are just so much fun to drive. I'll also mention, this is double wishbone front, leaf springs rear. There's a reason things are sometimes done this way, and not leaf springs front, double wishbone rear. Like, that car just being so backwards. I feel like I have to drive that some more. Yeah, I do see the Hot Wheels in this, actually. I did choose a slightly more ridiculous pickup body, I'll be honest. There were some pickup bodies that looked a bit more normal than this, but I chose one that I think looked a little more ridiculous because it was just fun. Yes, so let's spawn a new one. Let's see how this size compare, because this is supposed to be mid-size. Looks like the wheels are actually bigger. So this is so backwards. See, that's when I try and tune it, because the wheels were too wide and reduce understeer. It's just not a nice thing to drive. I mean, I think I've made it overall a little nicer, but still, it just doesn't make any sense how this is configured. What is crossplay, though? Is it like you make one good thing and one bad one? I know I'm probably missing a really obvious reference, but my head be like that. Ooh, a roundabout! We have leaf springs, therefore it must be off-roader. Didn't actually take that too bad. This thing is so ridiculous. I'm going to say, could I... Yes, let's jump! Let's jump! It actually took that better than I thought it would. I mean, I'm just enjoying this for the time being. I'm just enjoying this for the time being, seeing all the random stuff I've made. I should show this one. It was made in a stream a while ago. And I fixed it since. Listen to this engine. I actually need to quieten it, it's so loud. Put it down to about -30, that should be workable. The engine is in the back, 70% of the weight is at the back. I mean, this circle is weird. Yeah. I mean, I don't hate the look of it, but the thing is, it asks for a mid-size sedan saloon, however you say it, and it asked for rear engined, and then it gave me cross-ply tyres, meaning I had to make cross-ply tyres and steel wheels. I'm like, this is the best way I can think to make any kind of sense of that prompt. So I actually made it like quick, because it make it, as you'll see at the top corner, hopefully, it's quick. And I'm being, I don't know. My avatar thing is blocking the, I'm going over here now. It's blocking the speedometer, and I'm being so dumb. I should have changed that sooner. Yeah, I mean, the idea is, it's, I was trying to turn it into some kind of ricer, because I thought this look works, so... It's got, like, actually, it's got Ferrari tail lights, because, of course, it has Ferrari tail lights. And it's got, it's a GT1 Turbo 4x4, 8 litre, even though the engine is actually 7 litres, but we don't talk about that. It's also, simultaneously, a 2.4 litre. It's got a Celine badge, a Dragon badge, an Apple badge, because Apple is cool. It's a turbo. Yeah, we need to say tries. It's also 12 valve. It's the base model CD model. It is also the top, but presumably top of the line exclusive model. It is also 48 valve as well as 12 valve and a V8. This is... I just love how dumb this car is. Like, it doesn't make any kind of sense. Don't know what's going on with the, don't know what's going on with the transmission. Maybe there's just too many gears in a short space. Whee! It handles better than you would think, though. For something that's on, like, medium cross-ply tyres. But it's like, that's the whole thing I was going for. This looks like a ricer. Like, it could never be quick, because it just looks like a joke of a car, and then it's going to actually legitimately beat things. Let's just crash into this. Excellent crash safety score. Dangerous spikes everywhere. Yeah, here's another thing though. For all the beauty, we have some vents here. And you know where those vents fall on the body? They're potentially illegal because they're covering up the indicators. But you know, we don't tell the police about that. We don't tell the police there's not actually any side indicators on here. And these wheels, they were also green, but for some reason when you export it into BeamNG, the hubcaps magically change colour. I feel like if there's a longer straightaway here somewhere, I could actually see just how quick I can get it. Because it is a scary thing. So let's go up here. On this icy summit. In a car which should not be anywhere in the ice. Whee! I mean, it sounds amazing. It's got like a 7-litre push-rod V8. I think with 4 turbos on it. This thing is actually insane, and that's why I love it. We're going to go at potentially illegal speeds through these gates. Sounds like he's got a CVT. It has not got a CVT. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. Took those bumps. It takes the bumps far better than you would imagine. Oof. And now it is broke. Brycer fans are not happy with me now. It looks like Lego. It's ended up looking like Lego. I mean, because I've got... I think I'll just finish off, actually, by time trialing this thing. I think that would be a fun way to finish off. So... Go with... I didn't actually check the time I got before, so I'll see if I can bring that up. Where is the... It breaks any car safety test. I mean, I don't know. Perhaps maybe they can't actually tell it's unsafe because oh, I should have made everything really sparkly on it. I should have made it literally like just a piece of wrapping paper. Yeah. Well, I did have someone join when I was making it, and they didn't stay, so I don't know. Maybe I insulted them. So there's a way you can supposedly, yeah, there it is. So this will show the best times. Ah, that wasn't the quickest. So these were the quickest one. That's the quickest. Interesting, because that was less powerful. So 232, the one we did there, about 10 seconds slower. It's not a bad car, though. But it is 10 seconds slower than this one, which is interesting. I guess it's just a weight thing, because that is light. And then we have this. So that's over 20 seconds slower than this. You wouldn't believe they were built one day apart. And so we have to change to the other car, which I probably already did, and then it is. Yeah, it should be a fun thing. This there's a chance. There is a chance this is going to be the fastest thing I've driven around this circuit. So I am curious. And as I say, it'll give me a nice way to finish off, to round off this stream. I do think I say it for 3 laps. I believe this has just ABS. I don't believe this has all of the technologies available. I mean, it's probably the worst part is that this thing actually sounds amazing. If it sounded like trash, it would actually kind of add to the sleepery potential. It has turning. And when it does slide, it's actually controllable and catchable. For the absolute basket case that this seems to be, it's genuinely got some speed to it. Seems to have some brakes as well. I mean, I do love this thing though for how dumb it is. Oh dear, what am I doing? What am I doing? Whee! Somehow it was going in a straight line. It is no longer going in a straight line, and I do not want to crash. Okay, that's better than a crash. Oh, I'm gonna have to back up. Whee! Power! The thing is, it feels like it's one of these cars you're going to get into an accident. But it's going to be the most fun way to get into an accident. Come on! 135 in something that looks like this. Oh dear. It's not the most stable. It's not the most stable at all. I am scared of what's going to happen at this next corner. I'm going to have to brake early. I'm amazed at it. I think it has drum brakes on the front. I'm amazed it's doing so well. It walks like a boat, though. Whee! Yeah. Enough money to make it fast but terrible taste. It totally wasn't me. I totally didn't design this thing. Oh, I've just realised I got the wrong car. I've just realised, you may not notice it, but there's no badges on the back. This is an earlier export without overtuning on it. I have made a really dumb mistake. Anyway, it's still going, honestly. I'm surprised enough by that. You know what, I'm just going to finish this one. This one doesn't have all the same tuning as the other one. It's pretty much identical mechanically. So yeah, it's not that far off, but yes. There was loads of badges on that one that this just doesn't have, and that's how you know this is the older export from automation. I really should remove it from the game. I feel like I just trolled myself by complete accident. But no less, I can still give it a try. It should still be about the same for speed. And we're going to slow down. I mean, this is probably the most muscle car-y thing I have built. Or the wheel has built, should I say. I didn't do a whole lot with it. I'm trying to literally gutter technique is on the grass like Initial D. But there's no gutters, so I'm just going to have to try and grip like one wheel on the grass. I think this might be all-wheel drive. Yeah, I think it's all-wheel drive if I remember correctly. In some capacity of the word. You kind of have to step on it though, because that like beats the understeer, sorry. If you step on it, it sounds counterintuitive though, like you don't step on it going around a corner typically on a car, but in this case it defeats the understeer, so that's kind of what you have to do. Can we get to 140? Probably not, and I'm scared to even test it. Okay, we can get to 140, and I kind of wish I hadn't. Ah, we have a law. I don't know what the law would be. I thought the best law I thought so far is that you know, someone built a fast car in the 90s from things they found in a junkyard. So that's why it's got like this V8 and the turbos and stuff. They literally just picked up whatever they could and threw it together. It's a two-seater as well, I should mention, because the wheel decided it only needs 2 seats. So that's like the feeling I get, that it's just been thrown together from parts in a junkyard in the mid-90s or whenever. It's like my summer car, but by someone who has no care for safety whatsoever. Yeah, there we go. Kick out the back, and that happens. You see, you have to balance it. That's the tricky thing. We could possibly still get a good third lap, because I think this is a second one. It just makes loads of noise. I mean, I guess that's why, sorry, because it doesn't shift properly. Come on, power. The thing is, the reason I also have the grille on the back and the vents on the side there, where the indicators should be, and the vents on the back, I tried to tie it into the theme, but it's actually rear engine, so it needs some ventilation there, as I see it. Going a bit wide here. Power, not too much power, just enough power to get the back out and reduce understeer. Oh dear. Cut across there. A mid-90s tuning magazine. Yes, indeed. Does seem like that. There is also, what do you call it? There's the engine's in the boot as well. It's not mid-engine, so it's not like it's actually been built like a touring car. They've just stuck an engine in the boot. I don't know, maybe BMW had some really complicated McPherson struts on the front and they're just like, I'm not getting involved with that, and they put the engine in the other end of the car. I think it's got double wishbone on the rear and McPherson struts on the front, so it's a combination of just absurdly ridiculous things and actually legitimately quite good. The radiator's leaking. I'm going to keep going. That was a way to crash. I think, for now, the radiator's leaking, but it's still going. And that's the important thing. This could even be the quickest lap I have done. Because despite hitting that wall, I don't feel it will have taken actually that much time. And the thing is still going. It's even driving fairly straight. I'm not driving much of a car anymore. I don't know what this is, but... And now we have spun. Come on, get pointing in the right direction. Yeah, I did have to hide all this pipe work as well in the back. That was tricky in its own right. Power. Gonna have to slow. Bit wobbly. Oh dear, I think something's wrong with the actual chassis. There, oh, I'm just trying to turn it round. I did say it's not very safe. And this is the version before I even refined the tune a little. We're apparently not going that way. We're actually going to cross the line, though, to its credit. Come on, just cross the line and then we're done. The first lap was the fastest. So if we look over here, 7:47. Or 7:42 is it? We alive for gore. Yeah, that's what I recorded at the time. Wait. This is like almost identical to the biblically accurate minion. I did once try the failure, I think. Yeah, there it is. The failure. That's, okay, for comparison, the BCC Ultimate is literally an economy car I built from the 1960s that I was just testing. Like, that is literally what it is. A really cheap economy car from the 60s. And it's only beaten by 10 seconds by the failure of a car. With, like, 40 horsepower in that, remember? So... I think it's one of these. Ah, yeah, I think that was the fastest failure of a vehicle. But this did go quicker on the fastest lap by quite a significant margin. But that's 2:54 on its absolute fastest lap that I got. So, you know, I think I might have done that at the end of the last stream when I finally got it up again. But I did at one point take it around and... whatever's left of this car did make it to the finish line. So yeah, I'm probably going to finish up here. The lights apparently still work. So that is another thing. Yeah, so hopefully I'll be back soon enough. Probably doing Gartic on the other channel and the art channel tomorrow. Need to get the speedometer up to make sure I can put the handbrake. Probably going to be doing a Gartic thingy on the other channel, the art channel. Tomorrow, about 2 PM GMT or whatever that converts into. And yeah, I'm going to leave it here for now. Can actually stop my various recordings. Behind the scenes, ooh. That's how I capture my video stuff for, like, outside of the streams. I use the AMD software. And that's how it's 4K and everything. Yeah. Failure of a car. Mitsuoka, I remember that. I'm like that Japanese company that made cars that were known to be hideous. But honestly, compared to what I've created, I don't think those cars are bad looking by any measure. Not even just the failure car. because some of them just don't make any sense. Even the colour scheme on the one I built today, it just doesn't really work all that well, but that's the hand I've been dealt. Anyway, I will be just finishing up the stream now. So, I'll leave it here, and I'll